Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Star Wars Fan Chat, show where we get to know fellow Star Wars fans. I'm very excited for this one. You may have seen him in the chat on a few of the previous episodes I've done over the last few weeks, a couple of months. We have, coming from Michigan, we have Brian, also known as METALJEDI. So let's bring him straight on. If I press the button, there we go. No, have I done it? No. That's solo layout. No, I'm pressing the wrong one. There we go. How's it going, Brian?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, really good. I'm trying to do the full screen thing. I'm trying to do that. So
Right on. Yeah, I had to use my phone to do this because my tablet didn't want to work down in my basement. So
yeah.
I got a little dungeon cave down here. So
So got a viewer already. That's awesome. That's my dad. That's cool. That's awesome. Actually, I'm gonna do
yeah, that's my boy right there. That's my youngest.
Awesome.
Hey,
awesome.
kid.
Thanks for watching, bud. So, how's your day been? What have you been up to today? What time is it at the moment? Actually, it's Saturday evening.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Cool. Not too late then.
No, not for a weekend. Not for me.
That's good. That's good. Awesome.
Sometimes where you're at, I know we got a huge time difference. So
yeah, it's 10:30 a.m. on the Sunday at the moment. So
closer to work.
yeah, it is a bit. I worked yesterday though, so Linda's here
Oh,
as well.
right on.
Yeah, so I work Saturdays. I get Sunday and Tuesday off. So
Oh, okay. Right on.
yeah, so I don't know. I guess if you want to just kick off, just a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do, and what brings you to the online world of Star Wars fans. And
Right on. Yeah, Brian, METALJEDI. It's my love of Star Wars and heavy metal.
Yep.
I'm a giant metalhead. I'm in Michigan. Cold. We got dumped on last night. Yesterday morning. It started up, so it's ready for spring to get here. We've been having weird, crazy weather. It goes from we were having like 70-degree days, some 60-degree days, back to a snowstorm yesterday morning on my way into work. So I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for nice weather, but
I can imagine. Yeah, we're just sort of coming out of our summer now, which we didn't really have much of a summer. It didn't get as hot as it normally does. We had a heat wave about a week or two ago. Even by Australia standards, it wasn't super duper hot. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's about 37, 38, 39 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it equates to in Fahrenheit. But
I have no idea.
It was hot, but considering summers, we sometimes get days of like 45, which is just ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, it's just this last week I've had to start wearing socks more and sleeping with a blanket on, and I mean,
Right.
I'm grateful we don't get snow here, so it's I can only imagine.
You're lucky.
I mean,
the only time it's good is at Christmas.
That was it.
Right. Yeah, the only time it's good is at Christmas. So the rest of the time, just go away.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt to drive in. It's cold, but yeah. What's the humidity like there?
It's not too bad here, where I am. But I was up in the Northern Territory, like right up the top of Australia, back in February, and that humidity was like tropical. I sweated for a week straight.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a nice place, but yeah, that humidity, I don't deal well with humidity.
No. I'm with you on that, man. It's being right. We're literally, within a couple miles of Lake Michigan, and during the summer, it's sweltering. It's dehumanizing how humid it gets here.
Yeah, wow. This is, I think, 40 is around 103.
Oh, good God. No. Yeah,
you get those sort of temperatures up there.
In the Midwest? Not quite. We have hit the hundreds. Normally, our normal summers are, 80s. upper 80s, lower to mid 90s on certain days, but then like 90% humidity.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
right.
mean, you could swim through the air.
Yeah, yeah, that was what it was
boy.
like up in Darwin. Yeah, Jurassic Customs
Right.
is here. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that's my oldest son.
Oh, awesome.
They're all excited
They're all
on
tuning
coming
in.
out here.
They're all chewing up the bandwidth. Come and hang out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you reckon we get started on some of these Star Wars questions and yeah,
right on, man. Let's do it.
Get into some storytelling, which is why we're here.
Right
yeah,
on.
First question is, what are your first memories of Star Wars?
Well, I was born in 1977. I was born in December. And so, I mean, obviously I don't remember that immediate time, but it's always been there. I think I was always into it. What I remember the most was Return of the Jedi. When Return of the Jedi came out, I remember going to see it with my mom and dad, and then I had a coloring book from it, and I had cut the Luke Skywalker out and was like, I would mess with him on the page, like on the different coloring pages. And I always had the figures, summer or Christmas of, I'm pretty sure it was 83. And I've been I got to find the picture, but I've got a picture of me in front of the Christmas tree, and I'm just bagged full of all those figures, just pulling them all out, and just, I love them. They're just, I mean, that when my youngest is 13, and he was born in February. So the Christmas before he was born, just a couple months before that, my wife got me, it was when the vintage cards were starting to come out again. And she got me a Gamorrean guard, and there were a couple other ones. And when I opened that, she had them hanging on the tree. And when I pulled the thing off, I was pulling the bubble off, I just tears running down my face. I'm just like, my wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, it just totally brings me back. I love these figures. It's just, it was like, I feel like I did when I was a kid. It's like the cards are there. It's, all that. They're awesome. So, and it's just always been there. My dad, every movie that's come out, me and my dad have gone to see on opening night. And then when my kids were old enough, they've gone to all of them with us. And, it's always been it's there, it's always been there. So it's like, the earliest thing I can remember is the Return of the Jedi stuff, but I don't really remember a time that it wasn't there. It was just always around me. Yeah. So
I sort of feel very much the same. That it was before. I have little memories of like what it was like before Star Wars was a thing, but it was like, it's talking like Thomas the Tank Engine, which was like probably by the time I hit five, I reckon 6 was my first introduction to Star Wars when I was about 6. So I was born in 87, so I was 10 years late for Star Wars, but I was perfect time for like the build up to the special editions and the prequels coming out and growing up through the prequels. So I don't know, I feel like I kind of got the best of both worlds in that regard. Like I just got that perfect spot in the middle where I got to experience both for the first time, which was really, really cool. I feel like I went and saw Return of the Jedi, the special editions, when they came out in 97, because I think there was I think they did, from memory, it was A New Hope in January, Empire in February, and Jedi in March. And I feel like I went to see Return of the Jedi, but that's still a little bit of a cloudy memory.
It was right around that time, because I graduated in 97, and I remember right after graduation, within a couple days, I went to see one of them. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah.
But it's funny how, even though Star Wars was released like back in May for the first 3 films in 77, 80, and 83, but everyone remembers the Christmas that came after, and that's that's when the toys started rolling out. So when they did the sequel films and they come out around Christmas, it was sort of like, it was almost like it kind of felt right for a lot of people.
Oh, and
even
for sure.
Like my birthday's in November, so like birthday and Christmas would always be at the end of the year. So yeah, I have a lot of memories of getting Star Wars toys around that end of the year period. So it's it's funny how those two periods of time, like Christmas and Star Wars, they're so intermingled together as we grow up. Just there's core memories. There's core memories that are all together.
Yeah, and I'm Christmas Eve is my birthday, so I get jam packed with all of it. Having those come out, especially like the sequels and Rogue One and Solo and all that. Well, not Solo, but when those would come out in those release dates just before Christmas, it was just awesome because it was like, yep, we're going for my birthday. Let's go.
Like a Star Wars for Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, he's spoiled.
Yeah. No, that's good. You got to spoil them if they're into the wars.
Yep. Oh, me and him. He's my oldest, Draven. We would go figure hunting all the time. Just awesome. It's like let's go look for toys, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you spoil him so bad." I'm like, "Well, how am I going to go buy toys with him and not get him one?"
Yeah.
It's just kind of what it was. Yeah, exactly.
I love that you can share that with them now. Like,
yeah, it's great. I mean, when my youngest was born, we were up at the hospital the whole time, and me and him went home for the night, and we couldn't get back in. I could have spent the night, but he couldn't stay, so I went home with him. But we couldn't get back in until 6. And both of us were up at like 4 a.m. and couldn't sleep. We wanted to go back to the hospital to see my wife and see the kid. And I'm like, well, let's go see if we can find a couple figures. Went to one of the 24-hour stores and ended up with a handful of figures and breakfast and everything on the way to the hospital. So I mean, it's always been.
I wish it was that easy now to go into a store and just find figures you don't have. Like, just walk into a store one day and just go, I'm just going to pop in and have a look and see what they got and go, oh, cool, they've got a couple I don't have. I'm going to grab them. I miss those days when I do.
The figure hunts were the best.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Even 10 years ago, I remember I was working in a job where I was working from like 5 a.m. till 2 p.m. So like I'd finish work and I'd have the afternoon to go run around the city, and I'd literally do like a 2-hour round trip around different shopping centers and suburbs looking at toy stores, like trying to pick figures out. And I'd be able to find go back and I'd go through a Toy World or something, which was a chain down here. There's still a couple around, but even 2011, 2012, there were still figures from like Legacy Collection, like 2007, 2008 still hanging around. It was like, well, snatching up these figures that I missed over the years. Like, I miss the hunt, man. Like, it's just not the same ordering online and having them shop in the post.
Yeah,
Still
cool,
I mean, it's great knowing
you're getting them.
I mean, it's saving on petrol, but
yeah. But it's. I mean, when our Toys R Us closed, it was over. We had one right in town here, and it just couldn't. Now that it's gone, it's. We got a couple GameStops, but they don't stop.
Yeah, it feels like Toys R Us. The closure of Toys R Us was definitely the sort of catalyst for where we are now. I think it's, whether that was intentional or it just sort of happened that way. Because there's even a lot of major retailers here that just don't stock much Star Wars anymore. They'll get a wave of Black Series in every 6 months, and it's just like they just sort of hang around, and sometimes they sell, sometimes they don't, and it's just okay. That's not very exciting.
Yep. Yeah. Our Walmart, I think, they've got the same stuff that's been on the shelf since before Christmas.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's it's kind of disheartening, but yeah, exactly. I still haven't found a ribbon.
Yeah. Going back, a little bit of a positive, rather than getting bummed out about lack of toys in shops again. This is easy to do. What's your favorite Star Wars film?
Okay, this is a dual one because they're both the same. I can't choose between the two, but it's Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith.
Perfect.
Awesome. I was one of those rare ones of my generation that I absolutely loved the prequels the minute they came out. Are they flawed? Yeah, there's some flaws in there, but they're not perfect, but they're great. I mean, we wouldn't have had Darth Maul without those.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm a diehard Maul fan, but and Anakin, the whole thing. I loved them all, but when it comes to those movies, Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith, they're intertwined. I cannot choose between the two. The other ones, I love them all just the same, but those two are the ones that hit the hardest for me.
Yeah, no, I think they're generally like, for me, Return of the Jedi is always up there. It's never all the way up there, but if I was to have to pick a sentimental favorite, one that I watched the most as a kid, it's Return of the Jedi. I've told the story a bunch of times. It's the only one my sister would let me watch when we were on like school holidays together, and we had to share one TV and a VCR because that was all we had as kids. And it was like, I want to watch Star Wars. She's like, oh, as long as it's the one with the teddy bears in it. But I can watch Return of the Jedi. I'm like, well, I was happy with that. So,
there's nothing wrong with those teddy bears, man.
No, I was watching the Ewoks cartoon. I'm like, I love this. I love this so much.
Yeah, exactly. The Ewoks cartoon. I don't care what anybody says. That theme song. That just I love the Ewoks. Those Black Series figures of the Ewoks they're putting out, I adore them. They're great. They're great. Really good.
Just want more of them. Just put out more.
Yeah, I want them all.
They don't even need to do too much to them. They just slap a few repaints out. That's what they did with all the 3 3/4 ones. You just paint them up a little bit different. Smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Revenge of the Sith, that's my favorite. Lucas era, episode 4, Disney Rogue One. Yeah, they're awesome. Especially back to back. You watch them back to back now, it's just it's a ride. It's an absolute ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Rogue One is phenomenal. And I mean, we got one lightsaber. And for me, I went into it. I'm like, it's going to be good, but I didn't realize how much I was going to love that movie because the lightsabers, the Jedi, the Sith. That's my main. Anything to do with Jedi and Sith.
As one lightsaber, and man, is it a lightsaber? That's an absolute damn lightsaber.
There's a lot of great scenes in those movies. That has to be. It could be a contender for the greatest scene.
Yeah, unreal. Mudda Bakara just saying here, I decided to stop by and see what this was about. As a clone, I do have breaks, and this was one of them. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
You can go back to trying to gun down our Kiadi Mundi after this. This is fine. I appreciate it. Mandalorian fan channel. What's going on? Haven't been keeping up with the figure news too lately. Did the Black Series HK47 ever get announced? No, they haven't yet. Unless it's been pipelined. I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing anything about that.
Yeah, the TVC one just came out, and that was just a simple repack from like 07 or 08. So,
which I'm cool with because I didn't get it.
Keep that on the fingers crossed because that'll be a cool one in Black Series, especially with like the other characters they've done for KOTOR, which would be sick. Anything Star Wars? Hello there. General Grievous, favorite. Hey, Roman King, what's going on? Empire Strikes Back in episode 2. Seriously, Star Wars. Hey, Christopher, what's going on?
How's it going?
You guys keeping the comment section rolling. Appreciate that. Favorite character, Brian? What do you got there? Is that a multi-pronged?
Yep, it is. Overall,
there's no wrong There's no wrong answers. It's good. Like if you got more than one, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Number one always will be is Luke.
Yep.
I mean, it was my hero growing up. I adore Mark Hamill. The guy is one of the greatest humans on this planet. The stuff that he's done to help out people and help out these kids. I saw a video of him doing he went in, this kid, he was terminal and he thought Luke Skywalker was real and he went in character and just, it was awesome. But with Anakin is right there when it comes to the movies. It's Anakin and Luke. But I mean, then you've got the books, you've got the whole expanded universe, you've got and if I had to go into the expanded universe and pick a character, it would have to be another duel, but it would be Bane and Xana. The Darth Bane trilogy is my favorite book series ever. So
it's incredible. I need to give them another read. It's been a number of years since I've gotten through those books, but I love those books, and my boss has read through them a couple of times. He does the audio books, so he's always bringing up and reminding me of bits from the book. And always talk about, I think it's the first one where he's trying to get from planet to planet, or from one moon to the other, and so good.
Yeah, and he rides. Rides that.
Like, that's something you want to see on screen in Star Wars. Outrageous. It would be such a good moment.
And I don't even care if it's animation. Do it in the style of those Old Republic with the Malgus Old Republic trailers. Do something like that. It'd be awesome. But I have those on audio and I have hard copy, and I've read them probably 5 times. I listen to them at least once a year. I could listen to it while I'm at work. So I have my whole Audible library that I'll pop them on. I pop them on every once in a while it's like, all right, well, this will get me through the next 2 weeks. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Bane and Xana. Xana is a figure they need to do. They've got a Darth Bane, which I've got him right here. I sort of customized him a little bit a few years ago because he came with that sort of clear yellow helmet. And I sort of painted it up just to give it a little bit more of that.
I need to do that to mine.
With the Beatles, like having this sort of metal look to them.
Yeah.
So I did that, and they need to do him in Black Series. But Xana would be sick.
Yeah, I keep seeing posts on Facebook, and what are your what if you could pick out your characters, and I'm like, first 2-pack Bane and Xana, and then Embo and Marok.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh man,
those are my most wanted. Now I got my 2 most wanted that were number 1 for the last few years. This year or last year, so
awesome. That was favorite background character or alien.
Well, what would you call Embo? I mean, would he be considered a background character?
Yeah, I'd say so. Secondary.
Yeah, probably Embo. Probably. Yeah, probably Embo.
Tertiary, yeah. Embo, yeah. Embo's cool. Yeah, bring him into live action.
I've commented on a few different posts with Dave Filoni, for the love of everything in the Force, bring Embo into live action. Him and Marok would be awesome. Marok.
If they can do Cad Bane, they can do Embo.
Oh, for sure. Oh, they could. I mean, get Doug Jones to play him. You get that tall, skinny.
Yeah.
he could do it. He's got the physicality. Absolutely.
No, I like that.
But then right behind these wise, the Ithorians.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that thing. That is majestic. I love it.
It's such a fantastic figure. I can't wait for Moment of Dawn.
Yeah. They've pipelined him, haven't they?
Yeah, he's coming. I want that Jedi from the 2D Clone Wars. I would love for them to take that and turn him into one.
Yeah, they did it. They did a 3/4 one, Raw on Korra.
Yeah.
They did him. That's one I still haven't got a hold of.
I never saw
the others. I've got like the towels. I've got like the towels, the big woolly guy. I've got him, and I've got can't see. I've got Volvith Mon, the werewolf guy. I've got the werewolf Jedi.
I have him.
On Korra, the Ithorian's one I'm missing out on. I need to track him down.
Yeah, I need that. I would love to get one of those, especially in Black Series.
Yeah. Favorite droid?
2 of them again. It's K2SO and HK47.
Perfect. Awesome.
They're just
Attitude droids. Droids with
yeah,
attitude.
they're smart asses. They're, you know, they're great. You know, the meat bag thing, man, every time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, love that. K2 just being he's a bit of a jerk, but he's a jerk he's a jerk in a good way. Like, I love the whole bit where Jin's just like gives him her bag and he's just like, he just drops it on the floor. He's like, I don't care about this. Why am I holding this?
Yeah.
Just put it on the floor.
Exactly.
It still makes me laugh when he there's a scene they sort of left it in there when he gives Cassian the backhand.
Yeah.
And you sort of see Diego Luna, he's kind of trying to hide a smile behind it. And it's like,
yep.
It was obviously a tough thing to do, like Alan Tudyk on set. Like, it'd be hard not to laugh with that dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Anything he's in, that Resident Alien is, I think that's what it's called on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Great.
That one.
The guy's just such a dry, sarcastic humor that is phenomenal.
Yeah, I got to high five him once, so that was my little claim to fame with Alan Tudyk.
Nice.
Got a high five. That was good enough for me.
Heck yeah.
I'm just going to check a couple of comments out before we continue on. I saw a video that said Disney released tiny bits of info about the characters in the Acolyte trailer, and they said Yord Fandar is a Jedi Temple guard. Explains what he's going to. Okay. I didn't read that. I've seen a couple of them pop up. People have reposted, but interesting. That's cool.
See that.
Nice. Yeah, I assumed sort of by the Clone Wars that, you know, the Jedi Temple guards, they also sort of went under that mask of anonymity, and like the yellow lightsabers they'd use would probably just be like stock lightsabers that they just take off a shelf when they're on guard duty, sort of thing. So
right.
maybe back then it was kind of like, you know, they went the whole, because back in the EU, like a yellow lightsaber meant like Jedi Sentinel or something from memory.
Yeah.
And like each of the colors had like a sort of a different rank, I guess. But I remember even as kids, like it was that sort of thing. It was like, oh, you have a blue one when you're learning, and then you have a green one when you reach master. It was like, oh, Luke eventually ended up with a green one, and then the prequels came out, and it's like, oh, Obi-Wan had blue, and then he had then green, but it never really matched up with Obi-Wan having a blue one later in life.
No,
I don't know. It was just those weird things that you play with in your head as a kid.
Yep.
That's it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Linda says here, I want a 6-inch Gale Merrick in full assassin armor and a Jedi Knight Ram coda. Yes. There is. I'm trying to think of who it is. There's someone here in Australia. I think they go by like Syndicate Customs or something. They do a lot of 3D printing stuff, and I've been really wanting to buy the bullet. They've done a Darth Bane, but based from his Clone Wars look from the season 6, and you can sort of build that figure around. If you've just got a base figure, you can actually build up that around that figure. I've been really wanting to get onto that and have a crack at it. I reckon that'll look sick.
Yeah, he's got some phenomenal stuff on his page. I've been very tempted.
Yeah. Would the shipping cost much to get it out to you from down here? Because I think they're up in Queensland here in Australia. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know a lot of guys over here, a lot of customizers over here are getting stuff from them. So I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know. It'll almost be worth it.
Yeah. Especially if you're getting a figure that they're not going to make themselves, like, have a crack at it.
I don't know. If we don't get a couple more versions of Starkiller, there's something wrong.
Yeah, they've got the base for it. Like,
exactly.
You know, I've seen someone already do like a Mandalorian outfit, like from when he has the sort of half Mando armor, and I'm like, yeah, okay. If you get another Galen Marek, you can just about customize and kit bash something like that, and it would work. I'm half tempted to do it, but I haven't. But I could. It's nice to know that I could.
Yeah. I want a Sith Stalker so bad.
I want the I'd even go for the Raxus outfit where he's got the sort of the cloth sort of wrapped around. That's a really cool look. Where he's sort of protecting himself from the garbage planet. That looks awesome.
That's one of my favorite 3/4 figures.
Yeah, so I still don't have that one. That's another one that's. I've got a long list of figures I've missed over the years, and I just every now and then they'll pop up, and I'll go, "Oh, damn! I wish I could."
that's one complete collection that I do have, is all of every Starkiller figure they put out.
Awesome, awesome.
So.
Yeah, there was one I really regret passing on. There was a Toys R Us pack, and it was when he was almost in, like, he had just the sort of the black molded hood over the top.
Yep.
That was a really cool pack. I can't remember why I passed on it the day I saw it in Toys R Us. Or whether I saw it in Toys R Us, I can't remember, but I remember passing on it for some reason. But yeah, I just sort of look at that figure now. The rest of the figures in it were like, oh, it's a couple of Stormtroopers, and I think one of the Felutions. I think I can't
Felutions,
remember.
yeah, yep, yeah. One of the Felutions.
Kind of like, yeah. But then I thought I'll come back and get to it at some point. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yep.
His son says, if they don't make more Starkiller figures, one, I'll make you one. That's awesome.
He's quite talented. He makes his own action figures. So
awesome. That's cool. Does he do any videos and stuff like that?
Yeah, he's got a channel on YouTube. So
awesome. I'll check it out.
Jurassic
Customs.
He makes he uses, I mean, he just bought four of the Snake Eyes model kits. They're kind of like the bad guy. He bought we have Ollies here, and they had them for like $8. So he bought them, and he's just using them just as base bodies to sculpt stuff around and, add on and glue stuff on. So yeah, he's pretty cool. I've got a few of his things that he's made me in here. So
nice work, man. Keep it up. Disney also said Yord Fanda has a by the book nature that sometimes clouds his judgment because he's a by the book temple guard. Okay. So that seems to sound like where the Jedi Order's going 100 years from then.
Yeah.
Very much by the book, like by the Force.
Yeah.
I did hear that, yeah. I got to meet Jonas back in Chicago in 2019. He was a cool dude.
Lucky.
I'm 6'2", but he dwarfed me. Like, he's a big dude. I think I'm going to draw Darth Maul. Do it.
Yeah.
Next favorite planet.
That's another duel. Kashyyyk and Felucia.
Kashyyyk, yeah. The forests and the jungles and all that sort of the natural vibe.
Yeah. I would love. Yeah, they need to do more. The Bad Batch episodes last season with Gunji were, the romping around, actually getting to see more of Kashyyyk than just that little small space from Attack or Revenge of the Sith was really cool. But one of my favorite maps was on Battlefront 2 was Kashyyyk with you run around up the trees and you snipe people on the beach, and even then the Jedi Fallen Order episode, the mission where you go to Kashyyyk, and that was really you climb the Tree of Life. That was really cool. It was always a bit of a pain trying to find your way back through, but yeah, that's I haven't. My son has Fallen Order, but we don't have a PS5 yet. I still haven't played either of them, but I anything that I can read, anything that I can find on, Fallen Order, Survivor, anything Cal Kestis, I'm on it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I couldn't get into that book that they did a couple of years ago between them. It just didn't grab me. I got about a third of the way through it, and it was just, I don't know. There's a couple of books that I'm sort of getting really picky with my books now, and it's not that I'm picky. It's just if I can't get into it, I'm putting it down. I'm not going to force my way through all these books because there's something else I can be reading at the same time.
Right. I finished it. Yeah. I got it on Audible and I finished it, but it was just a lot of stuff. And I'm not a prude, but there was a lot of stuff that really just didn't need to be there. It just wasn't part of the, it just wasn't part of the story. It didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
That's my one bit of negativity towards Star Wars. That book was not good.
I got further than probably the other book I really had to put down, and that was the Han and Lando one, Last Shot, I think it was. I struggled with that. That was just I couldn't read it. It was just it wasn't grabbing me. But It is what it is. So, I picked up something else and enjoyed something else. So
Exactly.
Cool. There's always more stuff out there to enjoy. It's
absolutely.
I see a lot of Star Wars fans getting crabby online. It's just like, well, try something else. There's plenty out there for everyone now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's it's everywhere.
So favorite planet was Kashyyyk and Felucia. That was another cool map on Battlefront too. That was when they added that one on. That was cool.
Yeah,
what do we got now? My phone, we've got a message. Never mind. If you could have a lightsaber, whose would it resemble and what color would it be?
Oh, purple. Definitely. And it would kind of, I'm going deep now. So, basically Tenel Ka, the Rancor tooth.
Yep.
But mixed, and I don't know how it would be done, but mixed with Revan's lightsaber. Not the red one, the purple one. And Gunji's. Some kind of, mixing the natural elements with the, with the technology.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. But
something really weird. Yeah. A little bit light, a little bit dark,
Yeah, you've got to stand out on the battlefield too. Mace Windu style.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you guys getting the Black Series Destroyer droid? Looks cool. Just wish it had some sort of blue plastic dome. I'll get it, definitely.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Hopefully two. They're going to be like, they're down here in Australia, they're like $65 each. So I'll start with one and then I'll decide later whether I get another. It depends how much room it takes up on the shelf too. My prequels are sort of getting pretty full on at the moment. So I need to find a way to expand and spread it out a little bit more, but especially if they're going to do more Clone Wars prequel sort of packs that they're announcing they're doing, like some of those 2-packs are going to be sick. But I don't know. You start talking about a blue plastic dome, it would be it's starting to get pretty big for Black Series. And they've done a few like shield generator effects for 3 3/4, but that kind of works. But for Black Series, I think probably getting a little bit too big. But a yellow Inquisitor Knight's lightsaber would be nice. That would be cool. Helicopter lightsaber.
There's a guy on Etsy, 3D cubic prints that he's got. I know the Out of the Basement boys talk about him all the time. But he's got any lightsaber you want on there. You can get blades for them, and they all, from what I've been told and what I've seen, they all fit perfectly with whatever one you're ordering it for.
Oh, nice.
So,
universal, what you want.
Yep.
That's cool. These are a couple of my favorite questions. So I always get a mixed response. It's really cool. What moment in Star Wars makes you happiest?
Aside from all of it, I mean, yeah, because just anytime that comes on before the crawl, it's but my favorite moment, and it has been since I was a kid, was during the final duel with Luke and Vader when he drops the lightsaber and he says, "I'll never join you. I'm a Jedi like my father before." That's it. My all-time favorite.
Yeah, I love that. So how did you feel when, getting into sequel territory here, this always gets mixed responses as well, based on how people feel. How do you feel about Luke then throwing away the lightsaber again? Did that sort of, how did that go for you?
Initially, I was like, I was watching it with both my kids and my dad, and we all were like, if I remember, I cracked up. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was really funny. And then once we hit The Last Jedi, I kind of like, maybe that didn't quite make sense, but we have 30 something years of history that we don't know what he's gone through yet. To me, I thought it was hilarious. I thought just a crotchety old man's just like, bah, you know, I don't want this. You know, I'm done with that life. You know, but it didn't bother me. It cracked me up.
Yeah, I think I did chuckle the first time. I was kind of, it was more like I wasn't expecting that. It was like that kind of chuckle. It was kind of like, oh, I couldn't have foreseen that. Maybe thought, you know, here, take it back, or I don't know. And then, you know, it's the same. It's rejecting the fight. It's the cold arms and rejecting the fight. It's the same in Return of the Jedi. He throws the lightsaber down. And, you know, that act out of, you know, this is a weapon. I don't need a weapon. I'm a Jedi. I'm bigger than a weapon. But you know, they both have different reasons. But yeah, that's a good moment too. That is a good moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys going to Celebration Japan? I'm going to buy a ticket. And if I can come up with the funds for a flight and some I don't know, accommodation, I'll go. But I think I'm just going to lay the money down and get a pass, because if I can work out the rest of it later, that might actually inspire me to do it. If we've got a pass to go and then I can make it work, I'll go. But yeah, I really do want to go over. I've missed the last couple. I'm ready for another Star Wars celebration. It's been 5 years now. It'll be 6 next year. I need another celebration fix. It's just, I don't know. And to Japan, it's, you know, it's not super far away for us here in Australia. At least it's, you know, I think it's about 8 hours north. It's not too bad. So yeah, I'm hoping to make it work. If not, cross that bridge. But I'll definitely try and get a pass for it next month when they release. But yeah, hoping to see a lot of people over there. It'd be good.
I'd love to go.
When Ray dies, sad as when Kylo heals her. Favorite moment is the party on Endor when Luke sees Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan's Force Ghosts as Ewoks feast on stormtroopers in the background. Good morning, Ian. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Japan is too far away for me to go, but I do hope you get to go. I hope so too. I'm hoping I get to make it. Following up on that, what moment in Star Wars makes you sad?
When it ends.
I'm with you.
Well, going into sequel territory. The when Luke became one with the Force, it was just like, oh no. You know, I'm like, are you kidding me? Partially because I wanted to see more. I was, you know, but like seeing that happen, you know, yeah, he becomes more powerful than anyone could ever imagine. But just seeing, you know, Luke was my hero all growing up, and then seeing that, I know my kids are gonna hate me, but when we saw it in the theater, that they were devastated. I'm never gonna watch another Star Wars movie again. You know, they were, you know, it was heartbreaking. But yeah, it's, you know, seeing that, that was one of the, I was just like, oh, or Ahsoka leaving the Jedi.
Yeah, no, that was up there for me too. I think specifically, like, it also depends. Like, I don't know, moments affect me depending on where I'm at in life as well. Like, I remember I was going through a breakup when that episode aired where Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order, and I was sort of coming out of a relationship that wasn't working, and I sort of really, that was the first time I really felt like I related to Ahsoka, like having to step away from a situation I wasn't happy in. I needed to go figure some shit out for myself.
Right.
So I always look back on that episode at that period of my life where I was, you know, you had to make that tough call to walk away from something and go figure it out. So I was an emotional wreck at that point in time. I was, you know, it was just wasn't going well for me, and I cried. I was very very upset when that happened. I felt for it, like it was yeah, and it happens time and time again. We go through these different stages of life, and there was another one just the last couple of years where I went through a separation with my ex-wife, and during that period, the Book of Boba Fett was coming out, and it was the episode where Luke is training Grogu, and he comes on, Grogu falls over, and Luke come on screen. He's like, "Got to get back up. Always get back up." And it was almost like in that moment, it was like Luke was saying that to me. Like, it was such a moment I needed to hear that at that time. It was like we were always getting these lessons from Luke Skywalker or Yoda that are like,
oh yeah,
they pick you up in real life when you need to hear it. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was bizarre how well timed that was, and it was like I needed to hear that, and that's still one of my favorite Luke Skywalker moments to this day. Is that always get back up, always, and that's something that always gets me. Is just those moments that interact with real life, and I think that's what makes it important and has more emotional resonance with you as a Star Wars fan.
Absolutely.
Your son says Rey is not a Skywalker. Change my mind. I will change your mind. How long do you have? I will gladly change your mind.
He's 18. He's cynical.
Yeah, no, we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
Just don't listen to what the YouTube says. They're not everyone on YouTube has got to figure it out. They just go for reactions. Do either of you own the Hot Toys Boba Fett repaint from The Mandalorian? Thoughts on it? I sadly don't. No. Yourself?
I have the 2-pack. I've got the 2-pack. I've got the before he repainted the armor. Yeah, the Tython one. I've got the the dual pack.
Wicked.
But it's a pretty cool set.
Yeah. No, I'll be honest, I've been tempted on that one. If there was one of the Boba Fett's, I'd go for, but I've been looking at the Book of Boba Fett version lately. As I'm about to start working on my own armor kit, it's been a bit of back and forth between either the repainted Boba or the Book of Boba Fett sort of updated outfit as to which way I'm going to go. I'm still not 100% sure, but I've got to make a start on this thing at some point. So, I don't know. Not sure yet. It's a tough decision.
Both of them are cool. The all black though is I'm tempted to get that other version too.
Yeah, there's something about the green and the red on black that just
I
don't know.
It works.
It looks tough. Yeah.
It absolutely works.
When Boba Fett fell into the Sarlacc, I was sad. Then he came back in the Mandalorian, killed tons of stormtroopers, and I was happy.
Well, it's Boba Fett. I mean, come on.
Yeah. When Anakin is burning at Obi-Wan, seeing you were my brother, Anakin, I loved you, makes me tear up every time. Yep. I'm with you there.
Well, me both, kid.
Man, Spitter Luke's popping in. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate that.
How's it going?
Ian says, in a change from the usual ones I mentioned, saddest moments for me when Fives dies and when you see Jesse's helmet among the graves in Clone Wars Season 7. Yeah. Some big Clone Wars moments there, man. Absolutely. The Bad Batch Season 3 goes as if I feel it might, those choices could change. Ooh. I'm interested to see what's going to go on there.
I'm afraid for those final episodes.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Do you guys like the Black Series Sith Revan or Jedi version of Revan? Sith, man. Got to be Sith. Got to be Sith.
Both, but Sith.
Yeah. Hey, my buddy Tony. What's going on, man? Evening to you. I'll be chatting with Darth Phoenix 619 in April. I can't remember the date exactly, but it's on my channel. He is next up for the live stream. I'm going to take a couple of weeks. Next weekend is the Easter long weekend, so I'm going to take a break and then just hang out for a couple of weeks until I get to chat with Tony, aka Darth Phoenix 619, long-time YouTuber. Long-time friend. So really looking forward to catching up.
Awesome.
All right. What is your favorite quote?
It changes, but I'm a Jedi like my father before me.
Yep. That's a good one.
Just
I like that.
It's one of those moments, like a couple questions back. It's one of those moments that it's still, I'm 46 years old, and
Mm.
It tears me up every time because it's just like he's gonna stick to his guns.
It's the ultimate hero call. It's
yeah.
It's the ultimate hero call. He just does what he needs to, and it's enough to sprue Anakin back to the fold. It's enough for Anakin to come out and say, "No, screw this old dude. I'm going to pick him up and throw him off the balcony."
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I just most of it's Jedi. Everything that comes out of Jedi, I love.
Yeah, Ian sticking with the greatest teacher failure is. Yeah,
that is a good one.
I like that one. Yeah. Favorite life message in Star Wars? What's something you apply to? Something you apply to real life?
There's always hope. There's always hope, and family.
Yep.
Your family, and that doesn't doesn't have to be just blood either. I've got a group of guys that I've been friends with since elementary school, kindergarten, and it's them. They're just as important, as my blood family. Yeah. They're not my friends; they're my brothers. So it's just that family. Never lose hope. It's what it is.
Yeah, even Luke says it in Rise of Skywalker. He says some things are bigger than blood. Some things are stronger than blood, and that's why Rey takes on the mantle of Skywalker. She takes on the name Skywalker because it's more than just blood. It's more, it is family. In the Star Wars has always been about found family. Like Han Solo takes the name Solo because an Imperial gave it to him. Like I said here, Solo, but he had no belonging, so he took that name, and that was finally something that he could make his own.
Exactly.
But, so I still don't understand all the complaints for Rey taking the name Skywalker. I think at that point, she's damn well earned it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
and
from the end of
an ode to both her masters, like Leia wasn't an Organa by blood, but she lived with the name Organa her whole life.
Yep.
Like, it's got to remember that it's not always just about blood and inheritance. And Rey may be a Palpatine by blood, but she's like, no, I'm not carrying that.
No, I was gunning for her to be a Skywalker from the end of this. As soon as Force Awakens ended, I'm like, she's a Skywalker. She's Luke's daughter. She's taking the Ben place from the EU. And I was like, oh, really? But then at the end, it was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Where are we? A couple more here. Favorite quote is Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. What are we going to do? Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. I had a Sith version of Black Series Revan, and his leg is super loose. Do you guys have that problem with your Black Series Revans? No, I can't say I have it. Not necessarily with Revan, but you do occasionally get some joints. One of my little fixes when I get a loose joint is if you can say if it's a ball and socket, and you can put a little drop of super glue in there, and then just slowly move the joint until that glue dries. Don't let it sit while the glue's drying. Keep it moving. Even take the joint off. Put a little stop of super glue on it. Let that sort of super glue harden around the ball or whatever, and that actually creates a little bit more grip inside that joint. So when it goes in, it's a little bit tighter. That's a trick I've used multiple times. It is what it is. Plastic comes out of the mold, sometimes in a slightly different shape. It's just part of the mass-produced factory sort of thing with action figures. It's going to happen every now and then.
Yeah, I have two of them, and both of mine are fine.
Yeah, Linda says here, there's a joint tightener called Kicky Loose Joint Fix. Works really well. I haven't heard of that, but I'm going to look it up. That's cool. Yeah, I can't say I've heard of that, but I've always just stuck with a little drop or two of super glue, and even then, if it's still a little bit loose, you can add another drop, and just keep moving the joint until it dries, and it'll sort of spread that super glue around. There has been once or twice where I've or I've left it sitting too long, and one of those things you do. You mess up sometimes. So obviously you're a big fan of music. You're a big fan of metal music.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars music, though, I think, being a Star Wars fan, you got to be into the music. Do you have a favorite
for sure
piece?
I have two. Binary Sunset and Duel of the Fates. I mean, Duel of the Fates is just badass. I mean, it's just, I mean, that fight is just amazing, and it's awesome. The Binary Sunset, though, like just that scene, it's one of my favorite. Just Luke standing there, looking out over the galaxy, over the, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are definitely my favorites.
Yeah.
But I would like to see I would love to see a Star Wars themed metal album for sure.
Yeah. Have you listened to any of what are they called? Galactic Empire?
Yeah. I've checked some of that stuff out. I dig it. It's cool. I've been trying to talk. I've got, I was in bands all through, when I was younger, and really heavy stuff. And I've got, a lot of my buddies all play, and I've been trying so hard to get a guy to throw together a Star Wars metal album, but, kind of a power metal-y metalcore, mix where it's, you've got the growls, you've got the screams, you've got the, all that, but then you've got some of that power metal, high pitched, Rob Halford, that kind of stuff. And just like, something like that, where you're just taking the, the mighty roar of the Wookiee and turn it into a power metal song, and just crazy, I've been trying to get, all my buddies to do it, and they're just like, man, it's not Ninja Turtles. I'm good. So
just, you gotta do a trade-off. Just say, look, we'll do some turtle stuff afterwards.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'd listen to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in metalcore.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Drop some breakdowns in there and get I reckon that'd be wild. Even Duel of the Fates is metal with some the vocals, but like in like some mid-pitch screams in the background. Like that'd be wild. That'd be wild.
It'd be amazing. Get some Bruce Dickinson.
Galactic Empire. No vocal sort of stuff with Galactic Empire, but it's all music, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
But,
right. So I like it. I really do like it, but I'm a vocalist, man. The screams, and I love just just awful, just loud, and it would be cool to do something where you're taking something and something from, like I said, the Wookiees, and just like a whole galloping through Kashyyyk, just something like that, where it's just, but then you've got all different types of vocals, and and then throw in little bits of like the Imperial March here and there, or just to make sure people know what it is.
Catching the vibe more so than just redoing the music. Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah.
Do you think there will be a Black Series Blurg? I think there will be. They've just pipelined the vintage one, so yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Figured not, since the Rancor didn't get made.
Yeah, the Rancor.
Yeah.
Sad. That's a stab in the heart.
Yeah, I didn't back it, but I could.
I backed it immediately.
Yeah, I didn't, because I was just sort of thinking about space, and now that I have a collection set up, I'd probably do it in a heartbeat now. But at that point in time, I didn't have the collection set up, so didn't have the frame of mind for what space I had for it. But yeah, no, if they did it again, I would absolutely jump on it.
I didn't care where it was going to go. It was going to be here. That's all I cared about. I wanted that thing so bad.
Let me see your identification. What do you reckon the next TVC HasLab's going to be? I mean, we'll find out next month. Or just over a month.
Yeah.
I don't
even know what I'd want.
Yeah, my immediate thought was along the same lines as the Ghost, I immediately went to the Havoc Marauder for Bad Batch, because it's like, well,
that would be cool.
TVC collectors are screaming for the members of the Bad Batch, and that would be a good way to put them out. Is just say, here, take the lot with the ship. But I'm sort of looking over at my cantina now. I've got the old cardboard Power of the Force one. I'm like, you know what? That could get some mileage in terms of releasing figures that haven't been done before. Re-releasing some figures, like there's a few figures in A New Hope that are in dire need of re-release. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo. They could all need like good VC updates. I'm looking at some of the aliens. I'm like, yeah, there's some old hats in there, but so I'm kind of going for the cantina now. I'm still bummed that I missed out on the Jabba's playset, the Jabba's throne room, or the Boba Fett throne room playset. I'm still on the hunt for that bad boy. Again, I think I've pointed out numerous times. I've got space ready for it. I just got to find one.
Yeah,
but
I have none of those. The only HasLab I've backed was the Rancor, and I was really shooting for the Ghost, and it didn't, with being so close to Christmas, it didn't work out. But
yeah,
I don't know. Ewok Village, a really good Ewok Village. I've got an original one over in my room here, and
nice.
I really would love to have an awesome, super detailed Ewok Village.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If they made a Rancor, I would have slapped a saddle on it, and Boba Fett would be riding him into battle. Hell yeah. Passed on Galactus to the back of Rancor. The Galactus was sick, though.
Yeah.
This is I'm done with Marvel. Like, yeah, it was a sick-looking figure. But seeing as we sort of started talking about toys and collectibles and stuff like that, we were actually right on time for the collecting questions. Do you have a favorite item in your collection?
I do. I got a couple. Let's bring this guy over. That right there.
Oh yeah,
the Hot Toys life-size Grogu. I love this thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love this thing. This was my first Hot Toys, and I'm addicted now. But yeah, I love this thing. It's my profile. I've got my profile pictures for all my socials, and everything it's me holding this thing. Yeah, I just adore it. I have a feeling that it's gonna be Vader before too long here once that shows up. But
yeah, you got the Obi-Wan one coming in.
Yeah, yep. I've got the one coming in, and I can't wait.
Yeah, no.
But when it comes to Black Series, because I mean I'm waiting for my shipping notice. But yeah, when it comes to Black Series, which is my main, that and Vintage, but not right there. These two. I waited so long for these.
Yeah.
To come out.
They are nice.
I love, like, obviously, I'm a original trilogy. I was there from the start. But I love the EU. I love everything. I love the EU.
Yeah, I was talking to someone on I was back and forthing someone on Facebook just last night. Originally, I put a comment up on something Acolyte related, and of course, I got a handful of ha-ha emojis because people didn't take my comment seriously, and then I got a bit of backlash, and then someone tried to have a go, and then I sort of responded with kindness, and then they sort of backpedaled and went, "Oh, you know what? I will have this discussion." And I sort of said, look, there's a lot of stuff in the EU that it's a proverbial goldmine for content.
Oh yeah.
And, it was a discussion about the light whip, about the character from the High Republic that has the light whip, and that she's going to be appearing, and it's like that'd be sick to see in live action. Love to see a light whip. Yeah, and there is a breeding ground of source material there where I remember years ago, Kathleen Kennedy sort of said, Star Wars has no source material, and it's like I think she's worked out now that through Dave Filoni and stuff like that, it's like there is an absolute shit ton of source material out there, all in book.
Oh yeah.
And you don't need to follow it to the T. It's you can mine it and use ideas and story beats and
Yep.
I think
Well,
it's a treasure trove, and hopefully people that love the EU can find a little bit of balance in what's new and what's old. I think going forward, I think that'd be a good way to go. But yeah, you can actually occasionally have a relatively civilized conversation on Facebook.
I watched your live stream,
but it does happen.
Yeah. When you did your Acolyte reaction, I caught the rest of it, or the whole thing of it. When I got to work that day, I turned it on and I was like, "Oh, why are people ripping this apart so bad? It looks good." I think it looks great.
At least watch the season first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's Disney Plus. The look of it is not going to be quite as cinematic, but I think it's lightsabers everywhere. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm just excited for something to start with almost a clean slate, no baggage.
Exactly.
It's just starting its own platform. It's going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
They don't need to have any precursors or anything else. You can build off it, do spin it off and have fun with it that way. But it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't need to rely on other story beats all the time.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe, some nods to the High Republic books, but at the same time, you don't need to because it's sort of set after that. So it's a free reign of storytelling they can go with here, which is going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, just everyone, if anyone's out there is hesitant about it, just give it a shot. It's not going to take a life away from you to spend 40 minutes a week watching an episode of this show, and then at the end you go, did I like it? Maybe not. At the end you might be surprised, you might love it. But yeah, don't make decisions on something before don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah,
basically.
Well, I'll give you credit for I got the first book when it came out for the High Republic, and I don't know if I was in the wrong space in my head or what, but I got an hour into it and I'm just like, I'm just not feeling it. I got it all queued up, start Monday morning when I go to work to restart the whole thing. Cause watching your stuff, listening to you talk about it, it's like, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot. It may be better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So
my boss at work, he felt the same. Like he got a third of the way into it, and it wasn't grabbing him. I don't know whether it was just, because it is such a starting point for a new story with new characters. That first book, there is a lot to take in. Like there's characters here, there's characters there. Who are they? What do they look like? And what do they feel? All that sort of stuff. It's a whole new setting, and it is a lot to take in. But I personally feel like it's worth the time. Give it a shot. So, I'm interested, in a couple of weeks or something. If you've got through a book or two, love to hear your thoughts. See what you think. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I've got it queued up, ready to go for Monday. So
sweet. Where are we? Is there anything in your collection you consider to be unusual?
Yeah. All right, to me, it's one of the coolest things ever, but some people are going to think it's the dumbest thing ever. But a couple years ago, my wife, I have a cat. I have a couple cats. I like cats more than people. I like, for the most part, I like my cat's company more than anybody else. I'm a cat nerd just as much as I am a Star Wars and a metal nerd. But found this thing on Facebook as I was scrolling through, and I'm like, I saw this and I showed it to my wife. So she had that done for me. It's my cat Peanut as Revan. I got to get another one though, because I got another. I'm gonna get another one done before too long here, because I got another one. I think around September, and she's gonna. I need to get another one with her. It'll be a dark side, but I don't know which one I'm gonna do. But yeah, I love this thing. This is one of my all-time favorite pieces that I have in my collection.
Yeah, man, I can see why.
It's completely stupid. I get it. People are like, dude, when I got it and I was posting pictures of it, people are like, really, dude? But it's like, it's awesome.
Look, as a fellow cat owner, I've came into enjoying cats a little bit later in my life, like probably over the last 5 to 10 years. I've only ever had cats. We've got one cat now who has Well, it's not so much she's my favorite pet as I'm her favorite human. She's sort of adopted me as a favorite human, but she's been with my girlfriend for 12 years now.
Okay.
And I've been with her for 2. And yeah, I'm one of her favorite people to come to every night before bed. You know, she comes in has got to have a nightly cuddle before bed, and she's really sweet and cute, and yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah, like aside from some of the smells that come out of the litter tray, like it's just, but she does her own thing.
It's worth it though.
They've got their own personalities. You don't see that.
Yep.
There was no chance of ever having a cat as a kid. Like my dad hates cats. Like every time he comes over, the cats will try and sway him. Like they're just like, oh, I'm going to latch onto you. You don't like us, but I'm going to change your mind. And I don't think it'll work. But
give it time. Give it time. My dad hated cats. My mom's just as bad as I am. We both have. We have 5 cats. My mom has 5 cats.
Oh, wow.
Through the last 2, Peanut, and then the new one we got from her because she fosters and stuff. My dad hated cats all when I was a kid, and he's got one that's of her group that it's his cat, and he is hers, and it's and now he sees these cat when she's fostering and doing all that. She's like, those are awesome. So yeah, just give it time. Give it time.
No, that doesn't visit enough for him to sort of be swayed, I don't think. And I think he's too far gone at this point, but that's all. It's fine as long as he accepts that when he visits, there is going to be a cat here that tries to befriend him, and that's like, if you can accept that, I'm good. I'm good. It's fine.
Awesome.
Is there any item in your collection you don't have that you consider to be a bit of a holy grail?
Yeah. The Razor Crest, I'm really bummed that I didn't get that. The Ghost and the Sail Barge.
Yeah.
Those were just out of my league when they were available. They're just way out of my price range. Like I said, I'm a dad. They come first, so I just had to kind of push those off to the side. But every time I see them, I'm just it's a knife in the heart. We've got a local toy show or comic convention, toy convention, that it's getting bigger and bigger every year. And I was at it last Saturday, and actually one of my buddies, he sells art there. The guy that he does a podcast with has his own booth, and he's got a Razor Crest up there. And I'm just like, oh, I want it so bad. And it's like, I can't do it. So,
I know
it would be those.
I know your kids are watching still. So you guys have just got to, if you guys are watching, you just got to stop eating for a couple of weeks. If you could just stop eating, go out, get a part-time job, go help out, pay some bills so Dad can get a Razor Crest. Yeah.
Oh, they'd steal it from me. Draven would yoink it up in 2 seconds. He'd be, where's your keys at?
It's a joint thing. It's a sacrifice everyone has to make. Just got to go hungry for a week.
Set it up in the living room. Set it up in the living room and really make my wife mad.
No, I would never tell a teenager to stop showering.
God, please no. Yeah, that's.
No, I've been very, very lucky to be able to get each of those. Especially the sail barge. It was so limited, and it was such a very early on HasLab thing. Like that was definitely the successful catalyst to get HasLab happening off the ground, and proof that it's a system that could work. It's definitely the centerpiece of my collection, in my opinion. I've probably got some other things that people would be drawn to first, but for me, it's like childhood stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's just childhood dreams.
Yeah.
And it's just if I just want Hasbro to put another Sarlacc pit out. I just want a Sarlacc pit. Because I need that old Sarlacc pit that came in the Legacy collection. That's like a $500-$600 set now, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
nah. Unless someone's got some good 3D print files out there of a Sarlacc pit. Hit up Landspeeder Luke and see if you can doctor something up.
I need I need him to do the heads for Doc Ondar's store, the mounted heads of the Nexu and the Tauntaun, and there were a couple other ones. I can't remember what those were, because when I finally get back to work on that diorama, I want those on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, when I say that though about the, those couple pieces that I don't have, I can't complain. I'm grateful for what I'm able to get. I've got 4, 5, 6, and a 7th Hot Toys on the way. Well, 8th Hot Toy, because I got a Spider-Man Hot Toys. I've got, so it's like I'm totally grateful for what I've got. But those would be the pieces that if I could if go in here, you can buy whatever you want. I would. Yeah. That would be that.
Aside from the Grogu, what are your other Hot Toys?
I've got the Mando and Grogu Deluxe.
Nice.
Yeah, the Mando. I've got Ahsoka and Maul, Clone Wars Season 7, and then I've got the Boba Fett.
Awesome. So, yeah, I've got the Ahsoka. I would like the Maul. We've got it at work, so I get to see one every day.
It's so sick.
At the moment, I've had a few in the past, but I had to sell them off, and I slowly just started to get a couple here and there. Got Bo-Katan and Clone Trooper Jesse for obvious reasons. He's my favorite clone,
right?
But yeah, I've got the Deluxe Vader coming from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I've just seeing photos of the thing, I'm just frothing out of the mouth to get that.
I'll be going back and forth with you in comments when that happens.
Yeah.
I'm chomping at the bit waiting for it. I cannot wait for that to get here.
We should do a joint online live review when we just sit with it in front of us and talk about it for as long as we can.
I'm down. Anytime, man. Anytime. I'm down.
That'll be killer. Check some comments here. Thanks everyone for being so active in the comments tonight. It's been awesome. I have a Porg toy and people think I'm weird. I'll use the child's. Porgs are cool, man. I like Porgs. I'm a big Porg fan. I've got a Porg. I've got one of the little walking Porgs that you turn it on and it goes. I
think that's what he has.
Yeah, I had one of the Porgs that has the suction cap on the wing, so you can stick it on the windshield of your car or in the rear windscreen. Yep. But the little plastic sticky things that it came with were really cheap and they just didn't last. So I just cut them off and kept the toy.
I've got mine still in the box, actually. I never opened that one.
So a question for everyone. What's a character that's not from Star Wars do you want as a figure? For me, it's the Yellow Rabbit from the FNAF.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
What? Five Nights at Freddy's, okay. I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy's at all.
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. That is a really good question. A figure that's not from Star Wars. You know what? Most recent ones I've got that I have wanted for a long time are the 3 Spider-Men from No Way Home. We got the with their heads, with the Peter Parker heads. They're really cool. I kept a hold of when I sold off 90% of my Marvel Legends. I kept my Deadpool and the Deadpool figures like Cable, Domino, and Teenage Negasonic. I kept those 4. That's a really good question, actually. I can't think of an answer.
Those Spider-Man figures are great. I'm still trying to find Tom and Toby. I got Andrew, which was the main one I wanted, but
mine too. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, to be honest. No, I'm blanking. I'm sort of thinking like I've been getting a few of the Dune figures from McFarlane Toys recently. So it'd probably be, I don't know, I'd go with Duke Leto Atreides from Dune Part 1. I think, Oscar Isaac with a beard, like he is a good looking human being. I wouldn't mind him in action figure form. That'd be sick. I'll just go with that because I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. That's a really good question, actually. So, thank you.
He knows mine. I need the NECA to. I need NECA to make a wolf predator from Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have every Spider-Man I ever could want.
Yeah.
I quit collecting. It's funny. I quit collecting Marvel Legends a couple years ago too, just to focus more, mainly on Star Wars because they were just dropping stuff constantly. It was just too much, and I pretty much all I focused on was Spider-Man and his rogues. But then obviously I've got Deadpool. I and Wolverine. There's a few outside of the Spider-Man universe that I've collected, but yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I've given up on Marvel Legends about 3 or 4 times now and sold them all off. And like you, I've kept my Spider-Man stuff. I've even got rid of the rogues. I just keep different variations of Spider-Man. I've got the Guardians of the Galaxy from number 3. I think I've got a couple other randoms. Like I kept a Thanos. Just a couple other random ones I've kept a hold of just for the sake of it because I like them. And the Deadpools, and the Spideys. That's pretty much it. So I don't know. I could probably afford to thin that herd a little bit as well. Just to, stay focused and not be tempted.
I can't sell them off. I can't. I can stop buying them, but I can't sell them off. I love those figures too much.
Yeah. An affordable Kingdom Come Superman for me. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Are you doing a Clone Wars Thursday this Thursday? And what if you can say, no, I'm going to be doing this one yet. I haven't decided on one.
Savage.
Yeah. Savage. Okay. I'll let's put that in the notes. I sort of last week I just went with Wolf because I'm like, oh, he just showed up in Bad Batch. I'll do Wolf. At the moment, I haven't really got a list anymore. It's kind of I've got through the ones I immediately had on my list, and I'm sort of just picking one out now. So, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. You guys getting any of the Black Series Acolyte figures that have just got announced? I think so. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the Black Series ones. I don't know about the vintage yet. This is where I've got to be a little bit picky. Black Series giving me the biggest selection at the moment this far, so I'll stick with that. And in Australia at least, price wise, there's only $10 difference these days between vintage and Black Series. $35 for vintage and $45 for Black Series. So yeah, I'll
Did you pre-order any of them?
I'll go with most bang for buck. So I'll go with Black Series for now. But
right. Did you pre-order any of those?
I'm most excited about. Looking forward to that Django Fett. I saw Boss Bounty just got the new deluxe Django yesterday. I'll hopefully snag that one in the next week or two. I don't know. There's a lot coming out. There's a lot to keep up with. All the pipelines. There's just as many pipelines as there are pre-orders happening at the moment. So yeah, that's a tricky question. Darth Roxy, what's going on, man? Good to hear from you, Mick. Hope you're doing well, mate. I know you haven't been doing too flash lately, so I hope you're on the mend. Wolverine in 3.75-inch super articulated brown suit. Very nice. I think Acolyte will be interesting because the characters have never been in movies, and if we don't know ahead of time if they'll live or die, sense of danger. Yeah. That's what I like. It's unknown. It's all unknown. Where are we? Lost track. Oh, again, I said it last week. I said it the last live stream. This is a question I need to rework. I've actually put a little note there saying rework, and then I look at it every week and go, "Oh shit, I didn't rework it." So I'll try and rework it as I go. What does having some Star Wars memorabilia? What does that sort of mean to you in your sort of day-to-day life? Trying to make the question a little bit more personable rather than because the question is what do you think is important to fans, but what's important about it to you?
To me, it's just having that tangible. I've got a piece of it. It's the representation, you know, with the vintage collection, with the Black Series, with the Hot Toys, it's just having that, you know, I can pick it up and I can make my, you know, like I said, I'm 46 and I always say I'm posing them, but everybody's like, you're just playing with your damn toys, you know? And I have always collected. I mean, I was that kid that, you know, 18, 16, 17, hanging out with my friends, going to concerts, doing all that. And as soon as I drop everybody off, I'm popping into the store and buying, you know, action figures. After dates, I'm running into the store to buy an action figure on my way home so I can, you know, mess around with it after, you know, before I go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, it's just having that. It's just that piece of childhood, you know? I mean, for all intents and purposes, you know, the world isn't a bad place. So, you know, it's just having that little piece of, you know, happiness, you know, it's just, and it brings me like, you know, before we got going, I'll get to that now. Like when you do your Clone Wars reviews, you know, that's how I found you, your channel. And those, like the Clone Wars for me, it was, you know, it was getting those figures and watching that show. My son was born right around the time that first started coming out. I sat in the hospital, you know, my wife was sleeping and I'm holding him, and I was watching that week's episode of Clone Wars, and we just, every week, that was our thing all the way through. And it's just, then we started collecting the figures, you know, he would get the figures, I would get the figures, and we just started building a collection of them. And I mean, he's torn all his apart and they're all, you know, busted up, and mine are all pristine, you know, but it means non-collectors don't get it. They don't understand it. They, you know, I've got friends that they're just like, my sister even comes down into this room and she's like, you know how much money you have into this? And I'm like, yeah, you know, but it makes me happy. I could have the worst day at work. I just come in here and sit for 10 minutes and just kind of look around. I'm like, I'm good. You know, it makes me happy. I mean, and that's the thing. It makes me I like having this stuff. You know, it's in the grand scheme of life, it's insignificant, but to me, it's huge.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Physical representation of what you feel on the inside about Star Wars. It's, you know, being able to, you know, rather than, you know, sit there and watch an episode, you can pick up a couple of figures and you can just muck around with it, just pose them up and redisplay it, and, you know, just let your imagination go a little bit wild. It's good. Yeah. I like that. Was a good answer. I like that. I'm glad you found my channel through the Clone Wars videos, because it's been a lot of fun doing those and going back to some of these. And I don't know if anyone else has been catching it right at the end. I've been putting, if I've done a review of it in the past, like, because I've been doing YouTube for like 13 years now, if I've done a review on that particular figure in the past, I've actually put the link, so that will show up right at the end of my videos. So you can actually go back and have a look at what I look like with hair and no beard and in my early 20s. Yeah, and how terrible those old videos were. I mean, new ones aren't that great, but it's been a long time, man. Like, it's you know, I've been doing it a long time, and it's good fun, especially, you know, revisiting some of these figures that have been in the collection. You know, you just, you know, how many there are. There's just, you know, you set them up, you display them. You don't really take a lot of time with all of them. It's the new ones you just sort of you spend a bit of time with, but being able to sort of pick up an older figure like the Clone Wars that I'm doing with the Power of the Force stuff on Fridays, it's cool to revisit that, and, you know, people are getting a kick out of it, and I love that. It's awesome. Like, we showcase what's come before. I think
when you pop them, you know, when I first saw those, I was like, oh, no way. You know, as I was just flipping through and watching those videos, you know, when you do those, I come down here and I grab one of those. I'm like, man, I remember getting this. I remember, you know, hanging out with Draven, and, you know, it's like, you know, it's like all the other stuff, but that is such a, you know, important part of, you know, him growing up, that we bonded over, that it made it so cool, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Jarman, it says, collecting makes me happy too. And it says, given my health issues, my Star Wars figures give me the ability to escape to a galaxy far, far away from my issues. And I get you.
Absolutely.
It's an escape, man. You know, like you said, like Brian just said, you know, you have a bad day at work, you know, we all have them, you know, more less often for me these days, but you do have a day where you just come home, you're a little bit more tired, maybe a bit grumpy, you know, you just forget about it. You just come sit in the room and just chill out and yeah, okay. I'm sort of a bit of a reset. You get on with the night.
Absolutely.
Aaron finally got TVC pre-Viz last night. We got both. Yeah, TVC one was my favorite figure last year.
Way better.
Yeah. The Clone Wars one better, and thanks for the review and shout out on the Ahsoka and Rota video. No worries. That was good fun. That was a good one to do, actually. A lot of people stopped by and checked that out, so that was cool. So just a couple of questions to sort of wrap up, and then you'll see what happens then. What are you most looking forward to in the future of Star Wars?
More Grogu. I really, really want to see a little bit further down the road. Get him out of the baby phase, you know, the baby Yoda phase. I'm really curious as to what they could do with him, with you know, after Din's gone, you know, and hopefully embracing the Jedi side of it after all the Mando training. I want to see you know, I want to see him as a Mandalorian Jedi or a Mandalorian Sith. You know, whatever he decides to do. You know, I think there's a lot of cool potential with the amount of time that they could use, you know, different time frames they could put him in. And I don't, you know, just, I want to see things go forward with more positivity, a little more cohesive writing, but you know, I want to see where that stuff's going in more toys.
Yeah. 200 or 300 years into Grogu's future, like, what's the state of the galaxy looking like there? It's it'd be interesting.
It would be really cool.
Very
because
cool,
they did, you know, the what was it? The with Darth Krayt in Legacy. Is that what it was? Yeah. You know how they way into the future, like, you know, with Talon and all that, you know, obviously they're not going to bring them in, but you know, into a time frame like that where it's all that stuff is gone. You know, it would be really cool. It would be really cool to see that.
Absolutely. And yeah, lastly, I guess, you know, what does it mean to you being a Star Wars fan? Like, how does it, you know, we've spoken a lot, obviously, but like, you know, is it something that affects you daily? Is it something that impacts your daily life?
Oh yeah. Well,
obviously, you have a bit of a connection there with your kids too. You know, that's important.
And I'm pretty heavily tattooed. I have my whole leg is Star Wars, and
awesome.
Like, it's I don't know. Do you know who Brian Posehn is? The comedian.
Yes. Yep.
It's kind of a metal analogy, but he has a bit that he does where he's like, you know, being a metalhead is, you know, when you see another metalhead, you're walking around and, you know, like, I got an In Flames hoodie on, you know, you've got your metal t-shirt on, you know, and you see another dude with a metal t-shirt on and you just look at each other and you're like, yeah, you know, it's just that connection. You know, I've got Yoda, Grievous, you know, everybody on my leg. And I remember being in a Toys R Us and I'm standing there looking at figures, and this dude walks up and he's like, dude, that's sick. And he's like, check this out. And he shows me his leg, and he's got, you know, he's got the mythosaur on his leg. And sick. It's just like, it's like that. It's that connection, you know, you just run into somebody you don't know and you can just have a full on conversation and be like, sweet. You know, it's kind of like, you know, that's where I got my name from, you know, doing the Metal Jedi thing. It's like mixing my two favorite things that I've had numerous conversations with different people that I've never met, never seen again, but we've had a 20-minute conversation about music or, you know, Star Wars or something, you know, it's, you know, it's just that connection that you can make with somebody, and it's cool. And I've made friends from it too, you know, just, oh yeah, you're into Star Wars, cool, you know? So,
yeah, absolutely. Like my best mate, like we met on Instagram, just being, you know, locals in the same town, and we hit it off, and you know, it is what it is. We've both got Star Wars tattoos, and you know, we sort of trade Star Wars war stories, and you know, and then even where I work now, Kessel Run Hair Collectibles, like we cut hair and we talk Star Wars to people, and you know, not everyone's a Star Wars fan, but occasionally you get someone come in, they've got Star Wars tattoos, and it's just like, oh, check out my tattoos. And the boss, the boss is always calling me over to show my George tattoo because I've got George up on my arm.
Nice. Nice.
So he's always getting me to flash that one out. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I gotta show George off again.
That's awesome.
But it is good. It is good. Like you said, it's an instant connection with people, and yeah, you do get that at with fellow metalheads. Like I'm very much into heavy metal and metalcore and the screamy music, as people call it. And someone walks in to work with a band shirt. I'm like, yeah, I want to cut your hair, man. Like, let's talk some tunes.
Exactly.
What bands are you listening to at the moment? And all that kind of thing. It's good.
Yeah. It's that, I know it's been fractured as of late, but it's that community. It's that sense of community of just having, it's cool.
It says, spoke to my beer tender last night about Star Wars. My shirt initiated the conversation. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. You know you're a metalhead, Tony. He named his daughter after his favorite band.
Nice.
The Black Dahlia Murder.
Nice.
He didn't call his daughter Murder.
They're local boys around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're up your Midwest way, are they?
Yeah, they're Detroit way, I believe. So a couple hours from here.
Yeah, I was just excited to find out. Last week, Parkway Drive announced they're doing their 20-year anniversary tour around Australia. It's their first tour back home in about 6 years, and they're bringing on I Prevail to tour with them, and I haven't been able to catch them yet. So yeah, they're from up in Detroit.
Yep. Yeah. I haven't got to catch that. I don't go to a lot of shows anymore. I worked in a music store for years for a few years. And I went to, when I was in bands and stuff, I was at shows every week, and I kind of fell out of the scene once I had kids and everything, where I don't get to go to a lot, but that's one of the bands I really would like to check out. I've never gotten a chance to see them. So
yeah, they were here only a couple of months ago, I reckon, but they were here part of a small festival that was only on the other cities on the eastern seaboard of the country, and yeah, they didn't make it over here. So Adelaide, where I am, it's been one of those towns that bands will skip over, as there's like 3 major cities on the east coast: Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and then there's Perth, which is all the way on the west coast of Australia. So they'll tend to do those 3 and then Perth, and they'll skip over Adelaide in the middle, because it's like, well, we're really only like a 45 to an hour flight from Melbourne. So I guess, you look at it on a map and kind of go, oh, if, Melbourne's only, it's an hour flight, they probably go, if people want to go see that bad, they'll just fly over.
Right.
I don't know. I assume it kind of happens like that in the States as well, where,
yeah, I
close to one another, you kind of got to skip.
Yeah, we used to get shows. Yeah, we used to get shows all the time. Where I'm at, there's a town called Grand Rapids, and we used to get shows through there all the time. We had a couple different places, and now it's pretty far and few between. They've got this Upheaval Festival coming this summer that they're doing. It's like Kill Switch is going to be there. Ice Nine Kills was there last year. A lot of big bands go to it. But that's like one of the main things around here. And then we've got a little place, they're doing after parties, and As I Lay Dying is going to be doing the after party for that.
Oh, wow.
But pretty much everything just does Detroit now. We don't get a lot of, we don't get a lot over here anymore. Whereas when I was really big into the scene, back in, late 90s, early 2000s, Grand Rapids had shows every week. And now it's like, the last show I saw was Kill Switch the night before everything shut down for COVID.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And that was my youngest. He's a giant metalhead too. That was his first concert. So he got to watch Jake from August Burns Red puke on stage, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, awesome. I went and saw sort of middle of last year, I reckon. I went and saw We Came as Romans. They came down and played in Adelaide, and a dude had flown over from or he was interstate, but he was kind of closer to Adelaide than he was Melbourne. I think I can't remember, but he brought his like 10-year-old boy with him, and he's like for his first concert, that was what he wanted to do for his 10th birthday, and it's just this little dude. He had the time of his life. He was he's up on his dad's shoulders the whole time. He was just swinging arms around. He was having a great time. And that was a killer show too. That was a wicked show.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see there are kids getting into it. And
yeah, I thought it would be my oldest that would get into it with me, because I used to. I mean, it was Saturday nights. It was go get groceries, come home, watch the Clone Wars, and then we were watching Headbangers Ball.
Yeah.
And he's into video game music, so. But yeah, my youngest absolutely loves metal, and it's awesome.
That's killer. That's sick.
Yeah.
No, what are you listening to at the moment?
I don't know how it happened, but I didn't realize that Bullet for My Valentine put a new one out in 21. I completely missed it, and it is a face ripper. It's like back to the Poison Stream Aim Fire style. It's really good. And then Bury Tomorrow is one of my big ones right now. They're out of the UK, I think.
Yep.
I love Bury Tomorrow.
I know my girlfriend loves Bullet. And I've probably heard some of the songs, but yeah, I don't know whether I've realized that they've put a new album out either. Like, yeah.
I completely missed me.
Yeah.
And The New In Flames. The New In Flames is one of my favorite releases of the last few years. And that's been out just over a year. So
yeah.
And I love the gamut. I mean, I love, 80s butt rock, power metal, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. Metalcore is my favorite. I mean, I was, we like my bands were coming out of the new metal thing. We got started into that, and then we we were all starting to get heavier, and like metalcore is my favorite. So
yeah, I'm with you there.
I love breakdowns and blah,
Yeah, this last couple of weeks it's been sort of mixed between Polaris, and Alpha Wolf. It's two Australian bands, and Alpha Wolf are doing pretty damn well over in the States at the moment.
I just saw something today that they're going to be coming around here somewhere, and I actually heard them for the first time on the ad, and I went and checked out a couple songs. Well, there's another one I'm gonna have to check out.
Yeah,
so
no, they're from down in Tasmania. I think they're sort of central, mostly based in Melbourne now. It's a bit easier to do it in one of the bigger cities, but yeah, I just saw them for the first time a couple of months ago. They supported Amity Affliction, which I've seen a couple of times now. But yeah, they were sick, and they're doing another tour in a couple of months, I think. So I managed to snag tickets to that. So yeah, it's gonna be wild. But yeah, no, could definitely talk about music for another couple of hours. But yeah, what is it coming up to about 10 o'clock for you now?
Yeah, just about. So
awesome. Alpha Wolf be here on the 14th of April. Go and check them out, man. Do it. They put on a sick show.
Nice.
Get a Nirvana fan.
Yeah, he has gotten into Nirvana pretty heavily.
It's pronounced Adelaide. It's we're the last state to get anything. My aunt and cousins live in Adelaide, but I've never been over. Tell them to come and visit Kessel Run. Tell them to come and pop in. Tell them you sent them. What's your favorite Star Wars celebration you've been to? Oh, out of the two, they've both been amazing. Can't separate them. I had a great time at both. Yeah, no, it's like I don't have kids, but if I was to have to pick a favorite kid, I couldn't do it. Could be worth 2 a.m. here.
Dang.
I think Ian's a bit of a night owl, but yeah, I guess just to wrap up, where can people? I've got your link there for Instagram, Metal Jedi.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah, because I remember you sort of saying you're not super duper active around interwebs, but do a bit with Instagram.
No, mainly
that's enough.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook's about it. Yeah, I'd like to get a channel, but I don't have time.
It takes up a lot, man. It does. It takes a lot of time. But
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to check out some Jurassic Customs here, Brian's son, he does some custom stuff. Go and check out his channel.
Right on.
If Chester was still alive, I'd love. Yeah, I never got to see Linkin Park either.
Yeah,
that was,
me either.
I'd say they were probably almost my gateway to heavy music back in the day. That was sort of early high school for me when they sort of came out, late primary school, early high school. Yeah, no, I'm still get gutted about Chester, not being with us anymore. It's such a talent. I don't think we really got to see it to its peak. I don't think we got to see Chester at his peak.
Yeah, he was pretty damn talented.
See the live a number of years back now. Shane's gone. I value that even more. If you have 2 or more kids, you have a favorite. It's the one whose birthday gets used as a password.
Nope, no favorites.
Not while they're watching, anyway.
Yeah, they're both pretty cool.
No, I just want to say a big thank you for taking some time out, Brian, of your Saturday evening. I've been pumped to talk to you.
Absolutely.
For a couple of put in some month or
Been
two
looking
ago.
Forward to it, man.
But yeah,
I've been looking forward to it. It was fun, man. I appreciate it.
We'll keep in touch when the Vaders come in.
Absolutely, dude. I'm totally down.
We'll do something. We'll do a bit of a live and talk about the hot toys. We'll just sit over here on the desks in front of us and have a good talk about
absolutely
stuff. That'll be
right on, man.
Do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm totally down, man. I'm totally down. That would be awesome. I've been looking forward to this, and this was great. This was what the doctor ordered. This was great.
Yep. Awesome. Oh, again, thank you everyone in the comments for coming and hanging out. Collector 1970, just popping in at the end. Thank you for tuning in anyway. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Yeah, stay tuned, to my channel and everything. There's always content coming out. I've got a couple of new figures coming in on Monday or Tuesday, I'm hoping, depending on how Australia Post wants to how hard they want to work this week. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I've got to definitely stay tuned. I'm hoping to hook up some more live streams for the next couple of months soon. But yeah, when those Darth Vader show up, we'll get on that. That'll be good.
Absolutely, man.
But
right on.
Yeah, again,
sounds good.
Appreciate it. We'll be talking to Tony Darth Phoenix 619 in a few weeks. 13th of April. Thank you for reminding me. It'll be the 14th for me. But yeah, we'll do it then. So may the force be with you always.
Awesome. Take it easy.